Oh man, what an incredible night. Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, Exodus? Hey, Mr. Korean Pan. Let me think if I can remember any Korean. Um, Darn, I don't remember how to greet you. How to say hello. All I remember is Hana dul set net dasit yoset elgap do yorol ohop yol. That's all I know. Yeah, I know you gotta go. What's up, Edward? Um, yeah, thank you guys. Dude, you're still in Santa Monica? That's crazy. When are you going back? Hey, good night, Exodus. San Diego in the house. Hey, what's up? T? Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, dude. I just had an awesome little seminar today over at Progressive Martial Arts in Ventura, new gym out there. Shout out to those guys. What's up, Chris? Mike's World? Oh, man. Okay. Going back tomorrow morning. We have open mat at the gym at 10. Then I got to go visit with family a little bit. Got to go see mom and my nephew, see my brother, my sister in law. So thank you. Thank you. Darn, my Korean. Uh, 감사합니다. Is that right? 감사합니다. I think I got it right. Let me know if I got that right. Did I get thank you right? Come on. Okay. I can't wait forever. Hope I got that right. Okay. Araso. Um, what's up, guys? There's only 18 people in here. It's kind of late. I was out and you know, little date night, came home and I had to see the fight. I didn't get to watch it live. So anyway, saw the fight. Did you guys see that? I've got to do a video on this fight. Definitely. I would love to do a breakdown of the Demian Maia Ben Askren fight. It was pretty incredible. Greetings. Uh, who did I think would win before the fight? Honestly, I couldn't pick. People asked me, and I didn't pick. I could see it going either way. Um, Obviously, hindsight's 2020. It did play out. Like I gave one of those. In all honesty, I gave one of those um, answers when somebody said, "Who would win?" Damian Maia or Ben Askren. I gave an answer like, "Well, if Damian Maia is able to get on top, I think he'll probably win. If Ben is smart and or if Damian Maia can strike, I think I gave both examples of where either guy could win, which basically means I didn't commit to anything. So, whoa, thank you very much. Um, yeah, either way, I didn't really pick, so it's not like I can claim anything there. But Ben did what I said he might do, and again, it's a little frustrating. But again, guys, not that I'm going for Ben. I'm going for both fighters. But Demian did what I expected of him. Ben did what I expected him like to do, but like stop doing that shit, like so there's a little bit of like issue there. Like the way Ben fights with his grappling, I like Ben. I want him to do well, but again, guys, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I think. I don't pull any punches. Ben and I were on the same world grappling team 10 years ago, and he was new to grappling, but he was still very good back then. Um he still has not learned. He doesn't understand some positions, and Ben is funky Ben Askren, and this funkiness of him, he just thinks he can get out of everything, and he thinks he can funk around, and you can't. Like it's something that I see right through. He obviously has not seen it yet. Um, he just needs to get choked a lot more before he learns the way. I've been doing jiu-jitsu a lot longer than he has. He obviously has better wrestling than me, but he doesn't understand jiu-jitsu well enough. He gets on the ground and he's great at takedowns. He's pretty good at submissions. Like he knows he has a game, but it's just stupid, you know. Yeah, he's too arrogant in his grappling. Guys, what's up, Callie? Um, you know, it's a disease to me. Like it bothers me so much because I come from a wrestling background, but I have grabbed the jujitsu, the essence of it, and I've mixed it with wrestling, and I use the wrestling that works, and I use the jujitsu that works, and it just kills me when these wrestlers have so much potential. Look at the takedowns of Ben Askren. Incredible takedowns. If you would just learn some more jujitsu, none of this shit would work, what Demian was doing. But it works because Ben just fought stupid. That's being on Ben's side. On Demian's side, other than getting taken down, not having enough takedown skills to deal with Ben, which I didn't expect him to, beautiful. Beautiful job, you know? Big win for the jiu-jitsu community. What's up, Lee? Yeah, there's a lot of the best guys are arrogant, So yeah, yeah, it's just yeah, Edward Duff. That's funny. Um, yeah, it's not it like Daniel just said. Maya was so good at countering Ben's wrestling. Yeah, great transitions from the bottom. That body triangle was nice. Yes. Um, you know, yeah, I don't know Khabib's opinion of BJJ, but yeah, one-handed choke, totally, guys. He's just grabbing the shoulder like it's the gi and just pulled, and that's part of the trick. Part of the trick. He was choking him the whole time too. The second he put it in, Ben or Damian does that quite a bit. So, you know, yeah, I didn't find a huge problem in that fight with Askren's way he's shooting. I thought he looked good. Um, Obviously, there's strikers out there that may be able to catch him in something, for sure, without a doubt, and clip him. But overall, I thought Ben's takedowns looked amazing. A lot of people are going to be studying that. But yeah, that's S. Smith. How do you decide what to take from wrestling to blend with BJJ? Basically, guys, here's the thing. Uh, um, this hurts the wrestlers' feelings when I say this, but trust me. I beat on the jujitsu guys all day, so with my words. But the problem is this: jujitsu is where it's at, guys. Wrestlers out there, Jiu-jitsu is where it's at. You need jiu-jitsu. You need it. Learn jiu-jitsu. Take your wrestling. Use the wrestling is for takedowns. It's for good balance. It's for posting on the mat. It's for learning good pressure, good balance, takedowns, all the holds, the grips, the underhooks, the wrist controls, the collar ties. It's for all of that stuff. Other than that, you need jiu-jitsu. You cannot, when you get in these positions in a fight, you cannot just wrestle. The only time wrestling comes in is when you're Khabib and you're fighting a guy that wants to turtle. If you fight a guy that wants to turtle and stand back up, you can use wrestling there. Wrestling works in that sense. Like Khabib has shown that it works really good. I still say it's better to do what Demian Maia does, which is take your back, put in hooks, body triangle, and finish with a choke. I think that's better, and I think Khabib is learning that. If you notice, from his old fights to his newer fights, he now finishes people with rear naked chokes more than he used to just ride people and beat them up. Now he rides them, beats them up, and takes their back and chokes them. So this is where every good wrestler will eventually arrive. You're going to arrive at this point where you realize you have to know jiu-jitsu. And again, a lot of the Khabib fans go, he's a sambo guy. I'm like, yeah, he's a sambo guy. He's learned some jiu-jitsu. Whatever you call it, guys, he's doing the right things. He's taking the back. He's going for chokes. So, yeah, but, everybody's got their weaknesses. But I'm sorry, I'm reading comments, guys. I'm trying to keep up. Reggie Matthews, was anybody else completely disappointed by Askren's overall grappling? He prides himself on not getting taken down, but once on the bottom, he was butter. Yeah. Guys, it's funny. At my seminar today that I was teaching in Ventura, I showed the heel hook from the butterfly guard in order to get off the bottom that Demian Maia used. It's so funny. All of the guard passing that Demian Maia used, I showed at my seminar today to help teach those guys. So, what's up, James? I'm doing good. So, Ben, if you guys notice, the moment he was on bottom, he was looking over like for his corner for advice, or like just like it almost looked arrogant. Somebody said arrogant earlier. It almost looked like I don't even need to be paying attention. Like, guys, he should have been. Once he ended up on bottom, maybe he was too relaxed, like confident, because he usually scrambles out of these positions. You have to take it seriously. You cannot let a guy advance to the mount, and especially not that fast. Do you think Askren is overrated? He's still very good, guys. He's good in his own way. Again, he doesn't grapple the way I prefer. I was telling people this all week. I kept trying to explain about Ben Askren's style of grappling. He does what I would consider wrong, bad. I will tell you it's bad and wrong, but he will make it work a lot of times. It's kind of like when he did his mount escape. Have you guys saw that? He like sat up and like pushed Damian's face. Also, Damian's leg was stuck under Ben. So it made for like a really interesting escape. And then that's when Damian went for a Kimura, but Ben just like passed the guard, got to side controlled north-south area towards the end of the round. Like, so Ben will do these brilliant things. Like, who else can do that to Demian Maia? Escape the mount, get caught in a Kimura, escape the Kimura, and pass Damian's guard. So he did something that was so brilliant. And then other things like so blunt, like just such a big blunder, like let the guy pass your guard straight to the mount. Oh, you know what? No big deal. You're Demian Maia. I'll just turn my back. No big deal. It's cool. You haven't even hit me yet with a big shot. I'm still going to turn my back. Like, at that point in the fight, guys, they were both pretty tired. I'm not saying Damian couldn't have done damage in the mount, but at least take a few shots before you decide to turn your back. Like maybe you can make some scrambles and get your guard back. That's what you need. This is where I said earlier, you gotta learn jujitsu. You can't just turn your back, guys, especially on Demian Maia. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating from a Ben's point of view. Guys, trust me, I'm very happy for Demian Maia. So it's just whatever shoes I put myself in. And I love Demian Maia. I've been a fan of his for a long, long time. He's definitely a guy that's shown me things before in the past through his matches, fights, and videos. So I really like Demian. I met his coach at UFC in June, and his coach talked to me, his jiu-jitsu coach. And his jiu-jitsu coach told me he's a fan of the channel. So even Demian Maia's jiu-jitsu coach said he watches Teach Me Grappling occasionally, and he likes my stuff. So he recognized me, and we were very friendly. So, didn't Ben go from BJJ back to wrestling? More riding with ground and pound with better results. I don't know. Who would win between Kobe and Khabib? I would say Kobe, but Khabib is very good too. But I think Kobe being a bigger guy, I think that might be too much for Khabib. Have you seen Ben grappling with Marcelo Garcia? Yeah, Marcelo just destroyed him. But that was also quite a while ago. But even still, again, perfect example with Marcelo destroying Ben. He gets exposed by high level jiu-jitsu guys. This is why I preach, you guys, about jiu-jitsu. This is why I preach jiu-jitsu. This is why I fly the flag. Guys, I'm a wrestler. I fly that flag too, but I also fly the flag of jiu-jitsu. And the catch wrestlers in the world, they don't like jiu-jitsu a lot of times, most of the time. I'm just being honest. Guys, you gotta follow jiu-jitsu. I mean, it's the most competitive grappling sport there is when it comes to submissions. Sambo's a great sport, but they don't compete as much. There just isn't enough people doing it at the highest levels. You know, so when you reach these high levels of grappling, you face these high level jiu-jitsu guys like Marcelo Garcia or Demian Maia or whatever. You're gonna reach a level. You're gonna find this point where you have to know what they're doing to deal with them. You cannot ignore it. You cannot say, I'm just going to do my wrestling. You know, you've got to have somebody said, combo is deadly, man. The combo. You got to have both. So I don't care if it's wrestling and jiu-jitsu or even a really good judo background in jiu-jitsu. I would like to infuse a little bit of no-gi wrestling in with the judo, but even judo can be great. Sambo, great. If you're into catch wrestling, great. Just do it and add some jiu-jitsu. You have to. You cannot do them on their own. Sambo on its own will not beat jiu-jitsu, guys. Sambo on its own will not. It's got to be infused with some jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu on its own, also problem. Has to have one of the takedown base sports. Wrestling, Sambo, judo. Okay, you got to have one of those infused with your jiu-jitsu. You cannot do it alone. And guess what? Demian Maia, even though he got taken down, he's pretty good with wrestling. You know, I think the commentator was mentioning that. He's not bad. I mean, yeah, he got taken down by Ben Askren, but, you know, he also defended quite a bit in the clinch. It was not easy for Ben to take him down. I mean, it was easy as the fight wore on. Demian was getting tired, guys. I really think Ben was getting an advantage. Every time he would take him down, he started to pressure forward. Even the striking, I'm not saying it was like one side or the other, because definitely Demian was hitting Ben a lot, but Ben was starting to do pretty good. But, you know, again, his blunders, I'm just calling it how I see it, guys. Ben, beautiful takedowns, and then blunders. Like, here, let me get on top in butterfly guard and just lean my weight forward so you can pop me up into a heel hook. Like, blunders. It's just a blunder, guys. It's not, Damian's amazing, but that's a blunder. That's just a blunder. So it's not so much that Damian's amazing, it's that Ben just puts himself in these horrible positions to get swept. Even the omoplata, the triangle. I'm like, what are you doing? And And then when he gets omoplated, he tries to like morph into a jiu-jitsu guy all of a sudden and go, oh, I'm going to roll out of an omoplata. Guys, when you're standing up in an omoplata, you don't have to roll. Not yet. He like dove, he like dropped to a knee and then he rolled. There's so much I could talk about this fight. I saw so much crazy shit. But you guys know, I talk so much shit. I armchair quarterback it. People are going to hate me, whatever. But whatever. For those of you guys that like what I have to say, you guys respect me. You'll enjoy. And then I'll just piss off a bunch of people. But I'm honest. I'm a nice guy. I don't try to hate on anybody. I'm just tell you what I think and what I know. That look, Ben didn't need to roll at that point. He ends up rolling, going to the bottom, eats a punch, gets his guard pass like butter, and it just shows how he's so inconsistent. And then in the very next moment, he's amazing. He gets out of the mount with his own unique posting up on his elbow, head push, because also Damian's leg was trapped, ends up reversing him, gets into Kimura, passes the guard. Like, it's amazing. It's brilliant. And then blundering right before that. And it's really weird. It's like, what planet are we on right now? This is what jiu-jitsu guys think. When I use my jiu-jitsu brain, I'm like, what are you doing? When it comes to his takedowns, brilliance. The clinch, the over-under, the outside hook of the leg, keeping the balance. As Demian Maia was trying to throw him off balance, the hooking of the leg, the turning around and keeping everything snug until the pressure came off, and then he planted his feet on the ground, popped his hips, and just slammed Demian. Really, really beautiful. So just amazing stuff. His single leg was brilliant. One of the single legs, he's caught in an underhook. He takes the overhook position, goes to the neck as he reaches for a leg. It's really kind of in wrestling, very dangerous to do, but this is what Funky Ben Askren does. And as what I call the reverse limp arm, he lets the overhook go through to get to the single leg, and then already pressure's going one way, switches his grips to the other and cross faces Damian right to his back. Damian, just lost his balance. And beautiful takedowns by Ben. What happens next? Blunder. So, anyway, let me check these comments. Is catch wrestling really different than jiu-jitsu? What's the difference? It's very different, guys. It's very different. They do submissions for sure. I think I'm gonna be talking a lot about catch wrestling very soon. I have an interview I'm gonna drop with Jake Shannon, guys, that I did a couple months back. I'll be dropping that very soon. So I don't want to say too much right now, but I'll talk more about catch wrestling and jiu-jitsu, the difference and all that real soon. So Demian Maia himself says Hickson's BJJ is unbelievable. Why do you think he is that great? Prime Hickson or Prime Garcia? Your opinion, please. No, guys, they're two different eras. Hickson's amazing, but Marcelo Garcia he's a new model. It's if Hickson's the iPhone 4, Marcelo Garcia was the iPhone 7 or whatever. He's another couple it's just a better iPhone. It's not even fair to compare because they're two different generations. It's not fair. Marcelo Garcia wouldn't exist if we didn't have Hickson Gracie. So, but if you flat out say if you time machine and you grab Hickson of the old and you put him against Marcelo Garcia, he would not be able to compete. Same weight, guys. Assuming same weight. Obviously, Hickson would probably be a little bit bigger, but there was a time when they were close to the same weight. And close enough. Marcelo Garcia is better than Hickson. However, only because he's standing on the shoulder of the giant that Hickson Gracie is. He's scary with the one-arm choke. Like GSP says, you box a wrestler and he gets tired. You wrestle a boxer and he will get tired. Have to be well-rounded in the UFC with the X Factor, which the greats have. Yes. Very wise. Shut the fuck up, piece of garbage. But basurero municipal. I don't know who you're talking to. If you're talking to me, no, this is my channel. I don't have to shut the fuck up. 100% respect. bullocks to what people say. You know your shit, man, all day long. I love your channel. Thank you. It was a matter of time. Jiu-jitsu is the kryptonite of wrestling. Yeah, it is. It is the kryptonite. But remember, once wrestling learns some jiu-jitsu, it starts to gain an advantage. But you need good jiu-jitsu. You cannot just grab the stuff you like and then just do blundering things like Ben did tonight. Yeah, I knew. Yeah, he was that, and that was what I was kind of worried about for him. Man, that Polish throw Ben hit in round 2 was awesome. Really nice. Yeah. Gordon Ryan, iPhone 10. Yeah, guys. You know, I'll do you one further. Embid. I love Gordon Ryan. I love Gordon Ryan, but I said this last night to Edward Duff. Guys, Gordon Ryan's great. Gary Tonin. Gary Tonin is the iPhone 11 or whatever they're on right now. So, okay, Dot, you disagree Hickson over Marcelo. I disagree. It's okay. I love Hickson too. I feel Ben got tired during the striking exchanges. Ben didn't try to work his striking cardio in this fight. Ben isn't training that in the gym. 2 different types of cardio. I wish they hit the material. I don't know. Yeah, I think Ben was. I didn't think Ben was that bad, guys. I mean, I'm not saying he had good striking, but Ben, as the fight was wearing on, he was getting more confident. I'm not saying he's got great striking, but he was getting more confident. He's not afraid to get hit and get in and mix it up. He could have looked worse. He would look really bad in the beginning, but that's the thing is once the guy gets tired, you know, Ben was doing a good job of smothering Demian and also landing his own shots. It might have been ugly, but it was somewhat effective. Again, if you take out his bad top game, in the grappling sense, Ben was winning. If you just erase all that top stuff that led him to going to the bottom and getting choked, think about it. If we could take Damian's jiu-jitsu and put it into Ben Askren's wrestling, we would have a clearly better fighter. Ben would be a better fighter. I know that's all made up, but the point is Ben just needed to not make these stupid mistakes and he'd be fine. So, Varun asked me, may I know your BJJ lineage? You are so knowledgeable. Guys, well, I don't want to miss stuff. Did you think Demian Maia was going to sweep Ben Askren easily? Yeah, I kind of did, but I kind of didn't. It was all dependent on Ben. Was Ben going to be Ben and act crazy? Then I thought yes. I knew that was possible. Like Ben Askren is so crazy, he's likely to get taken down by Demian Maia. He could, because that's how crazy he is. In the same way in the old days, Dan Henderson, great wrestler, he used to get taken down by jiu-jitsu guys all the time. As a great wrestler, he just isn't. Ben and I just spoke of Dan Henderson. They aren't wrestlers that stick to their like they don't keep their base type of wrestlers. They get into shit and they just go with the flow sometimes. And part of that makes them great. Part of that they pay for it sometimes. And Ben, that's how he is. So I did kind of think he would get swept. Okay, back to the question of knowing my BJJ lineage, guys. I don't know who the hell is this guy with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This guy needs to get the hell out of here. Anyway, guys, I didn't come strictly from jiu-jitsu. I was a wrestler first, if you didn't know. I started to learn jiu-jitsu from a non-Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy that learned from the Machados. So he was probably about a purple belt level. That's my estimation in his skill. Now, his fighting ability, he could grapple with higher level guys because he had an ability to use wrestling and some eclectic style of grappling like leg locks and he could grapple with guys up to black belt level at times. It just depended on the black belt. If you get a world champion, yeah, he wasn't on the level. If you get a regular run of the mill black belt in an academy, my coach could beat him or at least go even with him or beat him. So that's what I was learning from. We learned from jiu-jitsu videos. We went to seminars and competed in tournaments. Doing those three things, videos, seminars, competing in tournaments, I learned jiu-jitsu. I met a lot of Brazilian jiu-jitsu people through the tournament scene. I was refereeing a lot of the major tournaments on the West Coast. Through that, I met Felicia O. And through Felicia O, I then met Big John McCarthy. I moved to Big John McCarthy's gym. And when I was there, I was now kind of like among the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys. I was already pretty good, whatever you want to call it. I'm not the one to say. I was already pretty good. And then once I was there, I ended up getting awarded my black belt in 2008. At Big John McCarthy's, there was there was like 5 black belts. Technically, I felt like my black belt came from Felicia O. She's the only one I truly trained with. Technically, the belt I own today is Felicia O's belt. The person that gave it to me was Big John McCarthy. He's the one that handed it to me. I still feel like Felicia O was my coach. As of right now, she trains under Jean-Jacques Machado. She has not signed my black belt, so it is what it is. Don't really care, to be honest. So that's my lineage. But again, I've been training longer than Felicia. I actually helped train her for her matches, but I did learn a lot from her as well. Either way, I was at a certain level and I was promoted to black belt. So, but I've studied a lot of people. So anyway, I'm a jiu-jitsu guy in a country with not much wrestling. I would rather have wrestling based than BJJ, then learn some BJJ. Yeah, you could do that, but you already know BJJ now, so just try to learn some wrestling. It doesn't matter what order, guys. You just got to learn it. You just got to get after it. It's all about time put in. If a jiu-jitsu guy wants to learn how to wrestle, he can do that. Sometimes, you got to actually go into a wrestling room and learn it, but learn it. Okay, there's so many comments. Yeah, ban this guy. I don't know what to do. Dude, this dude keeps spamming. Block him if you want to look at that. Guys, if I knew how to block him, I would block him. Maybe I can. Hold on. Let me see what I can do. Oh, I see. I just reported him, guys. Thank you. So, let me try to catch up. Reported. Okay. Hey, coach, are you planning on any more self-defense stuff for street? Bit off topic. Yeah, I'll try to do some. Guys. Thanks for just feed me information, guys, and I'll do my best to help you out. Who do you pick to win before you watch the fight? Sal, I didn't really pick anybody. I like them both. Although the way Ben's fighting, it's annoying. So I'm becoming less and less a fan. I wish that I could hang out with Ben for a while, try to straighten him out, but he'd probably just get pissy with me. Ben versus Kron, who would win? Anyway, the number 1 guy is Go. Blocked his ace. That guy was annoying. Okay. Kron is nowhere near Damian's level. Sal. No, but they're different weight classes, right, guys? Help me out. Aren't they different weight classes? I don't think isn't Kron fighting at 55? Anyway. Kron is I think lighter. But I would not agree with Sal though. He is near Damian's level. It's very difficult to even. Damian's amazing, but Damian's got more wrestling than Kron. Yes. So I would put him above him, but I wouldn't say it's nowhere near. No, Kron Gracie is incredible. Why? Let me see. I'm sorry. I keep getting lost. Why I think Hickson is better than Marcelo. He's like the Michael Jordan of jiu-jitsu. He maxed out his physical abilities with flexibility, strength, stamina, breathing, checkmate style jiu-jitsu. He was amazing for his day. When I say Marcelo over Rickson, I am speaking of a time machine thought experiment where you take the best Rickson, you put him against the best Marcelo. That's what I'm saying. Uh, they're from different eras. It's like picking. It's like trying to say Mike Tyson versus Muhammad Ali, and some people will still pick Muhammad Ali, but I think if you put him in a time machine, I don't think so. Anyway, Crone isn't near Maya. Okay, blah blah blah. Let me get past that. How long you been doing jujitsu? I've been doing jujitsu. What's up, Taylor Tilston? What's up? I've been doing jujitsu about 23 years, guys. 23 years of jiu-jitsu. Do you think the Gracie way of staying basic at high level is better or learning advanced new era techniques is better? Because Hodger beats everybody with basics only. Nobody has an answer. No, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Hodger is exposed to the new stuff. You cannot just do the basics without being at least exposed to the new things, guys. You have to have a diversified portfolio. By no means am I saying that the new stuff is the greatest thing since sliced bread, but you need the new stuff as well. The technique has gotten better, including the basics. The basics we were doing in the 90s that came up then is not the same basics we do today, guys. The basics today are better. They are more refined. And again, this subject, I love talking about it because I think it's so misunderstood. And the martial arts brings mysticism all the time. People love to mystify fighters and martial artists. And yes, I think Rickson's incredible. I think Marcelo's incredible. But don't mystify them to a point where you think it's absolute magic. It's physics. In the end, it's physics. And if you or I would move the same way as Rickson, we would be Rickson. We would be as good as Rickson. So what I'm trying to say is like, it's technique, guys. It's simply technique. It's the same thing as when the Khabib fans try to tell me, no, you don't understand. Khabib is wrestles bears. And I'm like, whatever, guys. He's doing moves, and they're simply moves. It's physics. If you learn the same moves, you can do it too. If you are as strong as him, as fast as him, and you move like him. And it truly is that way, guys. Now, do you have the capability to move like this guy that we're speaking of? No, you don't. You can't. That's why you're not Rickson. That's why I'm not Rickson. But I'm me. And guess what? If you want to be like me, you got to move like me. And a lot of people can't move like me. So it's just, that's what it is, though. That's why I have a channel. That's why I try to help people. That's how I make people better. That's how I take a 7-year-old and I train him and he becomes a great wrestler. And now he's wrestling Division I. And he's ranked 12th in the nation right now in his freshman year. Like, how did that happen? Transfer of knowledge, So anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. Chris says, I just think that the competition Rickson faced is not like today. Yes, very true. And none of these things are bad, guys. I'm not hurting anyone. Like, I'm not trying to hurt anyone. If I hurt your feelings, I'm sorry. Rickson beat guys in the 70s, 80s. Watch Rickson's MMA fights. They speak for itself. He couldn't hardly get guys down who were just pro wrestlers, and this is as a black belt under the Gracies. Oliver, you're right. And that feeds my argument. But again, full respect to Rickson for his day, for his time. He was the man. Is it possible to intelligently give up your back? That's a great question. Common writer. Is it possible to intelligently give up your back? The answer is no. The real answer is no. You can. Like, I can give up my back to 90% of people out there in jiu-jitsu. Okay? But there's that 10%. If I give my back to them, I fucked up. See, I'm good enough to get out. And that's where Ben is. Ben's like, I can get out. I'll just do this. No, not against Demian Maia. So that's a great question, though. You should never say, I'm going to give my back so I can get out. You do that when you're getting hit with shots. When you're getting hit with shots in the mount, you have no other choice because you're going to get TKO'd. That's when you give your back, guys. Giving your back with a great opponent is a bad idea. You are putting yourself in a worse position. From the mount, I would prefer to escape and get back to either half guard, full guard, butterfly guard, or scramble back up to my feet, or a trap bridge and roll and get back on top. Those are the moves that you do from bottom mount. Turning your back is not high on the priority list. Turning your back is like really low. I think that is just proven tonight. So men teach women, not vice versa. Understand. Thank you for all the great videos. Thank you from Palm Springs. Demian Maia is 42. They said 41. Is still doing this, shows how awesome. Yes, it does. That's pretty amazing what he did. So, okay, what do you think about 13% of the population committing over 50% of the country's homicides armed? What? I don't know what the hell that is. Is it like a racist comment? All right. Chrome 145, Maya 170. Yeah. Thank you guys for spitting that out. I thought he was a lot smaller. I said 55. Anyway, they kind of made me jump away class right there by just even comparing the two. So, all right. To be honest, my opinion is biased because I don't like Chrome. That's okay. Hickson Marcelo debate is like Michael Jordan LeBron. Yeah. Know how defend. What do you think about the Burns brothers out of Florida? I don't know the Burns brothers, guys. I'm sorry. I might be behind. Common writer, it's definitely possible. Women do it all the time. I don't understand. Okay. Brian, what's your favorite way to keeping guys down in MMA today? After a takedown, guys don't play guard. They belly down and pop right back up. BJJ guys are having issues keeping guys down, jumping the back. Oliver, that's awesome. Really good question because it's both. You can use wrestling like Khabib does, but you also need to take the back like Demian does. See? You have a guy that turns his back, and look what happens. He gets what you're speaking of is the BJJ guys where they try to jump on a guy's back, but he's near the fence and he turtles and he's already halfway up. He's already done the hard part. And now the BJJ guy tries to jump on his back and then he can't. So anyway, but that's a great discussion, man. I would love to do a video on that. There's times to wrestle. There's times to jump on people's backs with hooks like a jiu-jitsu guy. Do you burn out with grappling? Not really. Not really. I love it, dude. I don't really get burned out. A little, but not really. I like to if I get burned out, I just go on a weekend somewhere. I'll go camping up in the mountains. I come back, I'm ready to go. So a couple days off and I'm ready to go. I'm interested in how good Ben is off his back since he has a BJJ brown belt. I know he is versing Maia and is one of the best, but he got his guard passed real quick. Yeah. He's good, but he's facing Maia, and it's an MMA fight, and he was a little tired. Whatever, excuses. He didn't look good. What else can I say? He's still good, though. You give him the average black belt in jiu-jitsu, and Ben's going to submit him, the average black belt. Ben will submit the average black belt. Anyway. Okay, let me see if I can do this. Blasphemy. What do you think about Nate Diaz failing the drug test? I don't know, guys. I don't know anything about it. I don't know if he's really on anything. It sounds like a little mistake, but I don't know. Yeah, Marcelo MMA fight, but totally different era, guys. Totally different era. Certainly, Hickson was maybe a little more geared like in toughness for MMA than Marcelo is. But when you guys said Marcelo versus Hickson, I'm speaking of a grappling jiu-jitsu match. Okay, or whether that's what I'm speaking of. So not MMA. If they fight MMA, I would pick Hickson probably. I think he's more geared towards that. So if you guys, so let me go back now. Hickson versus Marcelo. If they fought MMA in their primes, picking Hickson. He was a more MMA that's him for sure. I'm sorry if you guys misunderstood me when I spoke earlier. I was speaking about straight up jiu-jitsu. So Taylor Tilston, honestly, you've been so right. 90% of the sweeps I see no-gi turned into some kind of double leg, single leg, laying on your back and playing fancy BJJ may sweep white belt or blue belts. I lost my position. Gotta go find his comment again. Yeah, sweep blue belts, but good grapplers are savvy. Yep. And Ben Askren showed that Damian's savvy. You know, he just blundered. Is focusing on defense much more important than learning to be good at submissions? Only that the guys. That's a lot of people like to. I'm a different human being. This is a good question. Is focusing defense much more important than learning to be good at submissions? Yes and no. I know you can't get anything out of me, guys. Every time I'm gonna sit on the fence on just about everything. It really just depends. Defense is very important. I think the majority of jiu-jitsu people in the world, instructors will talk about the defense being the most important thing. It's what you teach beginners. It's very important. It is. But man, there's nothing that bothers me more than someone who can't finish someone because all they are defensive. So I like to attack. So, but they're both important. You cannot have attack without defense. Ben didn't have defense tonight. If I had decent skills and can fight, I have great cardio and I'm fresh. I had a lot of experience in fights. Okay. Am I too old to start MMA at 35? No, you're never too old, right? I mean, like you could still do it. Yeah, I don't know who the Burns brothers are, guys. I'm sorry. Forgive me. They could be amazing. I don't know who they are. He was doing good though, blah blah blah. Let me catch up, guys. There's so many comments. I'm gonna have to skip. What do you think about Demian Cormier giving his back every time when he gets back to his feet? Again, guys, upper weights, common. Upper weights, it's going to work a lot better when you have really good smaller guys. Again, if upper weight guys were like Hodger Gracie or like guys like that, you don't want to turn your back to those guys. Enough said. All right, let me see if I can keep losing my spot. Okay, can you teach some techniques in the invisible BJJ? How legit is it? It is. I think I know what you're saying. In the invisible BJJ. I assume you're talking about the whole idea that Hickson has been promoting about the jiu-jitsu that you can't see. It's real. I talked a little bit about that today at my seminar in Ventura. So I would love to talk more about it. Yes, I will. I will be coming out with more stuff, guys, with the basic stuff of jiu-jitsu, with it seems invisible, very hard to see. You have to feel it a lot of times. I'll try to do my best to teach it on videos in the future. The hardest thing to me in MMA is stopping the wall walk. Guys are just so damn good at standing up. Yep. Getting their back to the fence. Would like to find more good ways of taking their back off the cage. Oliver, hell yeah, brother. You got it. That's a difficult thing. Here's one thing I recommend, Oliver. Every time you take somebody down, you're near the fence, always try to steer them away from the fence. I do not want to use the fence. Everybody's like, in the old days was like, let's push him against the fence so we can beat him down. And I'm like, why? You don't, I mean, unless you train against the fence all the time when you're doing jiu-jitsu or grappling or wrestling, which you should if you're fighting MMA, but the point is, it actually makes it more difficult to control somebody. I need them in the center where they cannot use the wall. I don't need it, but it's preferred. You can do a lot more things, I think, when you're out in the open. Using the fence against the bottom guy is much harder than what he can do to use it against you being on top especially when all is equal, if that makes sense. Coach, what's the best way to minimize injuries in grappling? Tap out. Don't train with crazy people. Um, make sure you monitor who you're grappling with, and safety conscious grappling. Safety conscious means I don't always care about escaping. I don't always care about moving fast to get out of things. I care more about my joints. And as I get older, the safety concerns go up. I concern myself with safety more than I did when I was 21. When I was 21, I could care less because I wasn't going to get hurt. If I did get hurt, I would bounce back within the first week. So, what do you think about combat jiu-jitsu and shoot boxing for MMA practice? Don't know what that means exactly. My gym splits the MMA program into MMA wrestling, combat jiu-jitsu, shoot boxing, and normal kickboxing. I'm a fan. That's awesome, Reggie. I don't know what the meaning of all that is. MMA wrestling, I would assume, is takedowns with punches. I would assume. Um, I don't know. Combat jiu-jitsu. Oh, is that like EBI, like combat jiu-jitsu, like the whole slap jiu-jitsu? That's awesome. Shoot boxing. I don't know exactly what that is either. I've heard the term. I've heard shoot wrestling. I've heard shoot boxing. I don't really know what it means, but it sounds just kind of like an MMA hybrid, normal kickboxing. All sounds like great stuff. What do you think about taking someone's back when they are standing backpacking? I don't recommend it because Igor Gracie did the same and the opponent dived, head bombed him, and KO'd him. That's why I just said what I said. I don't recommend it. Backpacking someone, guys, can get very dangerous. It's great when you're in a grappling tournament and the guy cannot do a backsplash or run forward and dive forward and all these different ways to try to injure you. Um, it's just kind of a dangerous thing. Now, there's many jiu-jitsu guys that you'll see, they'll body triangle somebody in the backpack position. They'll hang on, and even if you slam them, maybe you don't kill them and you get a rear naked choke and it works, but I just wouldn't recommend it. Um, I'm not saying I would never do it. I might do it, sport fight, but not on concrete. Don't do that. Do you think the UFC will cut Ben? I don't know. I don't think so. I think he's still marketable, to be honest. Even though they may be thinking about it, but I think he's still marketable. Do you know where Maia got his black belt? From his coach. Sorry, that's not a very good answer, but his coach actually spoke to me. I'm sorry I don't know him. He's from Brazil. He speaks a little bit of English, and he spoke to me back in June. I met him at the UFC, and he actually came up to me and he recognized me from the channel. So he's a nice guy, really, really nice guy. I appreciated his respect that he had for me, and obviously I respect him because if he's coaching Demian, you know Damian's incredible. So I'm sure he is as well. So is it the end of Ben Askren? I don't know. Would Robbie Lawler versus Ben Askren rematch make sense now? I don't know. I mean, sure, it's another fight, but I'd rather see Ben fight someone else, to be honest. Do you think the fight with Ben and Damian would have gone different with no striking, just pure grappling? That's a good question. I would have to say after what we saw tonight, I think Damian would beat Ben in a grappling only match because Ben wouldn't have the striking to ground and pound. He might take down Damian, but he eventually would make mistakes. Damian would catch him. So, why did Ben do so well in ONE FC? Well, he's not fighting as good of fighters in ONE FC. That's one reason. That's the reason. Fabio Gergel gave well, there you go. I met Fabio back in 1998, 97. I met Fabio Gergel in 1997, and he is incredible when he was under Alliance. Yeah. He also gave Marcelo Garcia his black belt. Yes. I know that Fabio was not Marcelo's first coach, but when Marcelo moved on from his other coach, he was coached under Fabio. And you see him in the early days of Abu Dhabi in 2003. Okay. Offense, the best defense. Yeah. Body lock pass versus floating pass. Lemmy X is asking me, I guess. Floating pass. I don't know exactly what that means, but I think I know what it means. Um, I personally like to float, but the body lock pass is good too. If you mix, you are mixing your grappling. What time percentage would you spend on each one? Could you spend a year doing wrestling to build a base, not do it again? Yeah, you could to a certain extent. A year may not be enough, but it can certainly help a year's worth. And you could, as long as you're training, you won't lose a whole lot of it. Ah, can't believe I said that. If you never go back, like I'm always still doing wrestling, so I keep a lot of my wrestling. I've noticed wrestlers that are great at wrestling. They do jiu-jitsu for a long, long period of time, and they never go back to wrestling at all, and they literally like lose a lot of their wrestling. Kind of gets a little rusty. I'm not saying they lose all of it, but they lose a little bit. It's good to go back every now and then. Try to learn better English. I don't know what that means. Is that me? Guys, I've learned enough English, I think. I ruptured the ligaments in my fingers 6 weeks ago. Do you have any way to prevent injuries like this? Oh, that sucks. In your fingers. Prevent. Always keep your hands like this, curled, guys. I assume your finger went straight in some regard and was either bent back this way or to the side. So you curve your fingers. That usually will protect your fingers quite a bit. That's all I can tell you. That's all I know. So, thanks, brother. Sadat says, keep up the good work. It's getting late, guys. I'm almost at an hour. It's about my time when I check out. Got to go to bed. But what do you think about using your legs to push off the fence offensively, as in when you're clinched up and leaning a guy on the fence, using a leg to kick, push off the fence to take down wrestle? Yeah, I mean, that's a good strategy. I like it. Shoot boxing is just MMA till you hit the ground, then start over. Oh, that's cool. MMA wrestling is wrestling with light slaps. Combat jiu-jitsu is BJJ with light slaps. Okay, thank you for clearing that up for me, so I know what language we're speaking, what the definitions of the terms are. BJJ guys are losing their place in MMA. They just can't seem to keeping guys down. They get guys down, but the guys keep popping right back up, trying to disengage. Would love to see you do a series on this. Yeah, it can be hard, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's not easy to keep some guys down that are good wrestlers, man. They wrestle back up. It's tough. But having a good blend of wrestling mixed with jiu-jitsu is the way, for sure. And if they do get away, you better have better striking, so you can strike, or great takedowns so you can get back in and do your job. How to escape the triangle choke from the back, the rear triangle choke. I think he means like the body triangle, or do you mean the choke? How to escape? If a guy has me in a triangle from the back, you don't want to be there, guys. This sucks. It's really hard to access everything. But here's what one of my goals is. What I want to do is I don't want to be on my back where a guy can pull up my arm, he can squeeze and try to choke me. I would love to try to access his leg and try to mess with that if I can. I want to roll over towards my knees and I want to stand up and try to get a guy in the stack position, whether he curls under or if I can force his face into the mat so I can get him to release or let go and loosen the position. But if you stay flat on your back or laying in his lap, it's bad. It's not a good position at all. Fabio Giorgio, okay, yeah. I'm gonna have to. You see. Yes, Fabio said Hickson felt like five people. Yes, I understand that. But again, that does not mean that Hickson is better than Marcelo. You know, all the people that have ever coached Marcelo Garcia, I don't think are as good as Marcelo. But anyway, sad to see BJJ losing its place in MMA, but it really needs some evolution. Has a lot to learn from folk style, and I miss the days where BJJ guys trained to fight, and I feel it's gotten too sport oriented. I agree with you, Oliver. Um, Austin, I love you, bro. Stop talking. Why don't you shut up? At the end of the day, it's about how you apply jiu-jitsu in a fight, and that's how you know your jiu-jitsu is good. That is why Hickson's better than Marcelo. It's pointless if your jiu-jitsu doesn't work. Fair. Not going to argue with you. That's fair. It's a fair point. I was speaking about jiu-jitsu only or grappling only. Coach Marcelo does not go for the bicep grip for RNC, but it seems so effective. Which one do you prefer, palm to palm or bicep grip? I think they're both great. I prefer my biceps. I prefer this rear naked choke over this one, guys, but I do both. I think for all around martial art, BJJ was the best from 2002 to 2010. Guys were really learning the open guards, well, nogi, but went crazy with the sport where it wasn't too dangerous for MMA. Okay, yeah. Take it easy from the UK. Respect, sleep tight. Thank you, Fipster. Ben was all hype. No, Ben's not all hype. He's very good. That was an amazing fight. Did you guys see that? It was an amazing fight. He just, again, he blunders. He blunders, but he's still great too. Notice the best guys in MMA, BJJ, were from that time. Maia, Jacare, Verdum. Yeah, but guys, there's other guys coming up. Don't worry. The younger generation, there's good guys out there. They're there. You're gonna see them. Why is the baseball bat choke never used in MMA? Yeah, it's rarely used. I had some good success with it, and it's one of my go-tos. Varun, I can't give you a good answer. My best stab at that question is the baseball bat choke is not taught very often. I think it can be effective, but it is an eclectic technique. Most of the moves you're going to see are Kimuras, rear naked chokes, guillotines, arm bars, triangles, and things like that. So, you want to see more Nogi Ezekiels in MMA from the mount? Yeah, for sure. What is the best tactic going against multiple attackers? Guys, don't fight multiple attackers. Best tactic is run away. So, thank you, Sadat. Yeah, take care, brother. Thank you. In purity of grappling, I think Marcelo is king, but in the mixed role, aka fight, Hickson is king. I agree with you, Todd. Gary Tonin is already here. He's like 5-0. Yeah, guys, Gary Tonin, he's one of the guys that I'm putting some stock in. I'm not saying he's going to win everything. He's going to be the greatest ever, but that guy is right now, for me, in the grappling world at least, and he's doing pretty good in MMA. My pick is Gary Tonin for the best all-around grappler I have ever seen of modern day right now. So he can do so many different things. That doesn't mean that he's better than Marcelo Garcia or anything like that, but he's just so diverse. Gary Tonin can do it all. He can take you down. He can pass your guard. He can take your back. He can use his guard. I mean, he's so good in so many places. And leg locks and chokes and arm, like he's incredible. That's all I'll say. I love Gary Tonin. What are the best non-RNC attacks from the back? It's been a topic at my gym. Some guys can defend the back forever as long as they stay cheat up. Are there any good alternatives? The twister, Reggie. The twister. You want to know the twister from the back? I'm not saying the twister is the best move in the world, but the truck position, the twister is a good alternative. Obviously, arm bars from the back are great. From the back, you can also insert guillotines. So I do like an occasional guillotine from the back. So what's up, Coach Brian? All right. Yeah, it's been one FC. In MMA, when you push down the knees to do an elbow escape, don't you think you expose your face for punches? How to overcome that problem? Yeah, you do for a second, but guys, it's like when guys in striking, good strikers understand this. You don't strike like this the whole time. At some point, you move. There's always an opening. You move, you make your move, and then you get out and you defend again. Now, if a guy throws the perfect combination that when you reach down and touch the guy's knee, he hits you and you eat one, that means you ate one. The odds of that one punch knocking you out is very, very small. So you gotta take it's like if you fight a guy with a knife, you're gonna get cut. Accept the fact that you're gonna get cut. So the point is this: if you allow a guy to mount you, accept the fact that you're going to get punched in the face. Don't think that you're gonna get out clean. If you do, I'm happy for you, but don't expect to. I expect to get hit if I'm in the if I'm mounted. So, but I will take a shot or two in order to escape the mount. It's what you have to expect. You have to do that because the alternative of blocking is a horrible idea. It's not a smart idea. You block sparingly here or there, but you got to make your play. So, in order to overcome the problem, you make a good movement, you bump, you keep the opponent off balance so that you can hip escape and you can escape the position and get out of there. I know this is all easier said than done, but hopefully that helps. I was wondering if you have to squat when you do a hip throw. If you have to squat when you do it, yes, you need to get your hips under your opponent's hips, under his center of gravity. That is a basic principle. But do you have to? No, because you can trip a guy too. But anyway, coach, will you do a video about killer leg lock entry seal hooks? Maybe someday. I will bring in my leg lock stuff. But guys, there's other great guys out there that are totally in the leg lock world. I do have some good leg lock stuff though. So I've got some newer stuff that I'd love to show. So um, I'll tell you guys a quick story and then I got to go to bed. Okay. I don't think I can do any more of the questions. I'm going to leave you guys with this. Um, the couple days ago, one of my students, Sachin, he's like 190, 195. He was obviously he went and watched some Lachlan Giles videos. So he came in. I was showing one student that was a blue belt. Remember, my student Sash is a brown belt. He's like 190 pounds. Um, I was showing this blue belt how to escape a heel hook. I was basically showing the doctrine of John Danaher and Keenan Cornelius. If you guys ever seen Keenan's heel hook video, it's all pretty much the standard stuff that's being taught nowadays. Pushing the knee, uh, pushing at the knee, turning your hip to avoid in the saddle position. Don't allow two leg control. Try to rotate, unhook your leg, get to your knee, put some pressure backward, clear your knee out of the knee line, and escape. For those of you guys that are into leg locks, you know what I mean. Um, my student basically did something he learned from the Lachlan Giles videos, which is basically all Lachlan does is he controls the toes and he pulls it to the other side and he catches you with a different heel hook. If it was the heel hook from the saddle 411 position or honey hole, it would basically be going from an inverted heel hook to a standard regular heel hook. And my student wanted to do that to me and see if I could get out and make that Keenan Cornelius escape work. I got heel hooked. Then I said, do it again. I got heel hooked again. I said, do it again. I got heel hooked again. I said, do it again. I got heel hooked about 20 times, guys. I escaped about 2 times. I got heel hooked at least 20 times. Escaped twice. The 2 times I escaped, I did something different. I chose to listen to my senses and not listen to the Keenan Cornelius video or the John Danaher method of escaping, or Gordon Ryan or Gary Tonin, all these guys that show this. And I'm not saying what they're showing is wrong, But the point is this. I just want to say this. I will be putting a video out soon in the not too distant future. This is how I feel. Everyone's here. John Danaher comes in with the Danaher Death Squad, and their leg locks are here. Everyone gets leg locked. Eddie Cummings, they all leg lock everybody. Then you then have these same guys defend the heel hooks. So they teach you how to defend the heel hooks. Everybody starts defending the heel hooks. Hashtag leg locks don't work. And then next comes Lachlan Giles, who says, oh, you're going to defend my heel hook. I'll just switch the heel hook. I'll move the heel hook over here to the other side. And I have interesting ways to control your foot so you cannot clear the knee line. And I also have interesting ways to regain the knee inside. Then what comes next? Counter Lachlan Giles. So this is something that I worked on that day with my student. And I felt pretty confident at the end, although I had to go through a beating, getting submitted 20 times. And I finally started to have success escaping the heel hooks and escape my knee. So it was fun, and I'd love to share it with you guys sometime. So I'll have to do that some other time though. So guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I want to say this to you guys. I don't want you guys to feel like, because I know I might come across, but I want you guys to know where my heart is. If I ever come across and I upset you guys because I say something, maybe you disagree with me. It's okay to have disagreements. I want you guys, and I recognize that too. I may argue a little bit here or there, but ultimately it's okay for us to walk away and you to believe one thing and myself to believe another. That's the beautiful thing in the world we live in, and we don't have to kill each other for it. But what I'm trying to say is, like, when I give you my opinion on things, it's my honest opinion. It comes from my heart, and I am no way trying to take shots. I don't want to take it's not a personal shot. It's not personal. It's about what I truly believe. And it's truly about the technique. It's about making you guys better too. If I didn't believe in what I know to be true, if I didn't believe in it, like, I wouldn't be showing you, I wouldn't have a channel, I wouldn't do all this for you. I truly believe it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'll have to be shown that I'm wrong through evidence. That's how I'm going to find out. So, and I'm wrong, guys. It is inevitable that out of all the stuff I know, there's a certain percentage that I have wrong. Everyone needs to accept this. Nobody has 100% perfect information. And this is, again, why I go back to, don't put these mythical things on Rickson or Marcelo. As much as I love both of those guys, don't do that, because even they have flaws and even they make mistakes. And the second that you think that way, you're just wrong. You're wrong. Everybody makes mistakes, guys. I am not infallible. I'm a human being, and I make mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes at times. But overall, I adapt very well. And I know I do through my track record, through how I deal with people, how I deal with grappling situations. My answers to most grappling situations are very good answers. That's why what I teach works. And if you find some of my techniques don't work, that's okay. Maybe it's not for everybody. Other times you got to fix something, or it's possible I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong on something, I want to fix it. And there are times I adapt. I have improved. I'm going to be coming out with a ghost video, guys, pretty soon. I've been saving it for a long time, but I got to come out with a ghost video to show you guys how I feel like I've wronged you guys in my ghost videos. There's a little more technique I need to show to make it even better. And I've been showing people on face-to-face basis, but I have not done it on video yet. So I got more stuff. So anyway, thank you guys. I love you guys. I gotta go. It's late. I got open mat in the morning. If I have time tomorrow morning, I'm gonna have to visit my family after that. But I really want to do I really want to do a breakdown for this fight. I won't be able to prep by watching the fight over and over. I watched it once tonight, and I would love to do a breakdown. I might make mistakes. I probably will. I'll forget things, but I'll try to get the bulk of what I saw, and hopefully the video I might be able to watch it if it's still on the internet. I might be able to watch it again just to get more ideas to give you guys the best breakdown. So thank you guys. Thank you, Sadat. Thank you, all you guys. Oliver, you guys are amazing. And Lady Boy, you're amazing too. And I'll see you guys later. Okay? Take it easy. Have a good night. I'm out. Teach me grappling.